everybody, thank you for watching my tutorial on how I made a skeleton boy mask. Yes, I made this thing from scratch. I loved it. It took me way longer than I cared to admit, and I want you to learn from my mistakes with this video and find out what I did that actually made it work out in the end. So here we go. Alright, so I did find on Amazon, I don't remember what the source was, but I found a actual medical student, like this big ol' like actual human-sized ceramic skull. I didn't want to use a foam or a lightweight plastic or anything that would lose its shape or be ruined by the heat that I was going to be using with the thermoplastics that I was going to actually make my mask out of. So you definitely want to get a good quality one. So you're going to slather that bad boy in saran wrap first, make sure that it's well protected from the sticky thermoplastic that you're going to use later. And depending on the kind that you use, of course, but most of them will adhere to this kind of surface. And then for the rest of the skull, what I did is I took a big old piece of thermoplastic and I cut out pieces on the sides, like big long triangular pieces, and then pulled those edges together where the cutout had been, pulled them together and fused those together so it created one big curved piece approximately the size of the skull. And what I intended was for me to have minimal excess material so that way I wasn't having to deal with trying to flatten out a lot of folds in the material, because if I use one big piece over a curved piece, obviously there are gonna be folds towards the outside edges that you're gonna have to deal with. Nope, apparently that was a stupid idea. This is the worst idea of my life. I wasted all that thermoplastic for no good reason. Don't do that. It was stupid. Learn from my mistakes. So what you do want to do is just use a regular flat piece. Just cut out a big old flat piece and just start heating it, and make sure the whole thing is a pretty even, that soft pliable texture, and then just start to lay it out and then warm it up more gradually from the center of the rounded structure that you're trying to work with here. So in this case it was the skull, and I heated up right in the center of the face, like where the nose would be, and really started pressing it in there and kind of working my way down the center, and then work my way out towards the right and the left side. Worked out really, really well for me. So you can notice that, there are going to be times where it's going to kind of start to fold over a little bit. You have to be patient with this. You have to give it time to kind of settle and very slowly work outwards. Don't try to do this too fast or you're going to mess it up. Also, keep in mind that thermoplastic really is going to be at its best working temperature when it is too hot for human hands. And I have a lot of calluses on my fingers, so I'm using my hands, and it still hurts while I'm working it in, so be very careful. The reason why I use my bare hands is because I know what to expect. I'm not just digging it right in there and burning the crap out of myself. I'm touching it, pressing it in very firmly, and then immediately releasing before it gets too hot, and then just kind of going back and forth and doing a patting motion to really press all the edges in. I did try to do it with gloves one time, and the material just kept sticking to my gloves and I kept ruining the whole project. So do whatever works best for you, but do be very cautious while you're doing this, because you will probably burn the crap out of your hands. So here I was trimming the excess off of all of the edges. I didn't have to worry too much about it being perfect because most of that was actually going to be covered by the hood I was going to wear. So I wasn't too concerned about making it perfect, but I just wanted to make it relatively even and make it comfortable to wear. And here where I'm cutting the eye holes out, I made sure to give myself just a little bit of extra room to work with so I could press in those edges so it kind of seemed like it curved inward, so it has a little bit of depth to it, so it's not just almost like me wearing like just a flat kind of a paper-like mask. And so pretty much at this point I had trimmed off everything that I wanted to. It was just kind of perfecting those edges and kind of smoothing them out a little bit. Alright, now I'm gonna be honest. Right here, this was a struggle. This was a really big struggle. So I waited until it was completely cooled. I think I actually put in the freezer for like 10 minutes just to really make sure that it was nice and cool. And gosh darn, even with all of the saran wrap, for some reason this was just a nightmare to get off. I think I pressed in those details a little bit too well, because it was just stuck. It was so friggin' stuck. God, it was a nightmare. And then, oh god, yeah, pulling all that off, there are a few pieces that I thought were just gonna be permanently in that mask, like there was no fixing it. But here we go. Here we go. Finally got it did. Oh, it looks so good. Oh, it looks so sexy. Look at all that texture and detail to it. Yeah. So basically at that point, all I had to do was I took a blackout mask and then I just had to cut off the back of it because it was a little bit too small for my head. And then I just added some straps in the back, some elastic straps, so I could easily slide it on and off. And I did cut out the eye holes so I could see a little bit better, because when it was all tightened down stretched out over my face, basically it just kind of pressed into my eyeballs and I couldn't see. That didn't help a lot. So I cut out the appropriately sized holes and then I hot glued the edges so that way there was no, overstretching or fraying or, any of it coming apart. Like it's there. The eye holes are the size that they're going to be forever, for all eternity. So, yeah, basically at that point you are finished. Looks so good. Admire your work. Love it. Live it. Go out and enjoy your frickin' cosplay and just enjoy life.